Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gies Online Masters in Accounting webinar. Thanks for being here today. We have several people joining us, so we're just going to take a few minutes to get started, get connected, and get settled here. You can scan the QR code that you see on the screen. That will take you directly to our website, and we'll connect you with our team. My name is Lori Hayes, and I'm a coordinator in admissions and recruitment here at Gies Online at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. I'm joined by my colleague Kate Deering, who will be assisting in the Q&A. And we have a very special guest joining us as well today, Todd Richardson. He's a current student ambassador for Gies Online programs. Todd, do you want to take a minute just to briefly introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your professional background as well.
Sure. Yeah, I have been I first did design for many years, and then design morphed into marketing and advertising. So I've been doing that for probably 25 plus years, both for profit and for nonprofit. And then I had this opportunity to do, I guess what they're calling a mid-career change and go back and get my MBA, which I had really wanted to do. And so I'm doing that, and I'm also doing the joint degree, which gets you an MBA and an MSA. So I'm really excited about that.
Great. And Kate, if you can put in the chat our website, any of you can reference the website anytime throughout the webinar and check that out. Questions come up, again, feel free to put those in the Q&A, and Kate or myself will be sure to get those before the end of the hour. So I'm going to move along here. We love to hear where everyone is joining us from. So if you scan the QR code there that you see on the screen, you can then put on the map where you're at. And we'd love to see where everyone is joining us from. We'll take a few minutes to let those responses roll in there. Oh, all right. We're over here in the Northeast. I see a few of you. I'm over in Bend, Oregon, so the opposite side. Anyone internationally joining us? All right, we'll go ahead and let's see here. There we go. There's some more responses. Great. As you can see with our programs being online, it's a global international program. So we have folks in our programs from all over the world, really, all over the United States, all over the world. Well, thank you again for joining us today. If you're just now rolling in, again, my name is Lori Hayes. I'm coordinator in admissions and recruitment, joined with Todd, one of our student ambassadors, and Kate Deering as well will be assisting in the Q&A. We're going to go through what we're going to spend some of our time together in the next hour. We'll touch a little bit on the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign and Gies College of Business. We'll have a more in-depth look at the Gies Business Online, and specifically the iMSA program, which is why you're all here. We will dive a bit deeper into the curriculum within the iMSA program and the content, and then we'll chat a little bit about some application tips and tricks. Towards the end of the hour, we should have some time to answer any remaining questions that you might have, but again, feel free to pop those in the Q&A. So why the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign? UIUC is a land-grant institution, which means we offer high-quality education at an affordable price that is accessible to all learners. As you can see, we have several accolades listed here on this page. And we have a really strong reputation, not only in academia, but also in industry. We take a lot of pride in the quality of our programs. We're a big research institution. A lot of dollars are spent in research and development each year. And we are rated the #1 most disability-friendly campus in the United States. And if you join us, you'll have over 500,000 alumni behind you as well. let's take a step further and talk a little bit more specifically about the Gies College of Business. We are one of the top 10 undergraduate business schools in the nation, have the #3 accountancy faculty. In 2022, our MBA program was named Program of the Year out of all online and residential programs by Poets and Quants. And Dean Brown was also awarded Dean of the Year in 2022. We're really proud of both of these awards. We have over 79,000 Gies business alumni, and you will learn today about how you will have access to some of our alumni and interact with them, and what it means to be a part of our program while you are a student, but also after you graduate. Another poll here, feel free to scan the QR code. We're just kind of curious, what's holding you back from pursuing graduate education? Is it the cost, an online format? Is that, kind of what's making you nervous? The time commitment while you're balancing a career, maybe family, any other commitments that you have? Return of investment, you want to make sure that this degree is going to pack a big punch and is going to do exactly what you want it to do. Difficulty getting back into school after maybe being out many years, or anything else that might be holding you back. We love to see what it might be, time commitment and ROI. And we'll touch on these for sure. We'll have Todd touch on these for us later on as well. So let's talk a little bit about the 3 main qualities of Gies online programs. Flexibility. Gies online programs are 100% fully online. This means you can access the group projects and live sessions from the comfort of your own home, your office, or even if you're away on vacation. You can take 1 course at a time or 2, depending on your schedule. Your schedule will be totally paced by you, depending on your work and life schedule. Stackability. I am going to go into this in more depth in the next slide, but all of our credentials stack and work together. We have Coursera MOOCs. We have 4-credit single online courses. We also have graduate certificate options, and of course, our degree programs. And then online by design, this means that our programs were designed to be delivered to thousands of learners worldwide so that our learners could access highly engaging content from anywhere, anytime, without having to pause your career or family commitments. Todd, can you maybe tell me if either of these factors played a role in why you chose Gies Online, or maybe share what drew you to our program?
Actually, I would say all of these, but the more I began it was the flexibility, because I do work full time. I've got kids and family all over the planet. And I knew I had to do it online. And so I hadn't really found a quality option that I felt good about. And it was actually on LinkedIn, I think I found out about this program. And as soon as I dipped a toe in and got to connect with people like you're doing today, I did one of these a while back. It was amazing, the energy, and the energy is infectious. And then when you learn all the different ways it truly is flexible, the online component is second to none. It's phenomenal. It's beyond what I thought it would be coming in. The engagement portion of it is multi-layered, and the stackable component, which I'm taking advantage of and getting an MBA and then going an extra 1.5 years or 2 and getting an MSA, and you combine those 2 degrees. These are things that really spoke to me, and it's proven to be one of the best decisions I've made. So
that's really good to hear. Thanks for sharing that. All right, here is that stackable build that I mentioned in the previous slide and that Todd was just talking about. I definitely want to take a few minutes to elaborate more on this, because I think this is one thing that is really unique to our programs here at Gies Online. This slide represents all of the building blocks and credentials that we offer at Gies Online. So there are those free MOOCs on Coursera, non-degree single 4-credit courses. And then the graduate certificates, which are 12 credit hours in total. So that's 3 courses to help you master a specific skill. And then we offer the 3 full master's degree programs, obviously the iMSA, the iMBA, and the iMSM program. All of these complement an existing credential. All of these options allow for development of new and targeted material. They allow you to work at your own pace. And lastly, stackability is outcome driven, which means you will see a career impact with each stackable step. So as you can see, we have something for everyone here at Gies Online, whether you're wanting to take just a single course, earn a graduate certificate, or get a master's degree. We have options that build on one another and work together. Before we jump into the information about the iMSA, I just wanted to touch briefly on the graduate certificate options, since we've mentioned those. They consist, as I said, of the 12 hours, 3 courses of transcripted credit. It is a very brief application process, and they are all stackable into any of our degree programs, including the iMSA. We have 11 graduate certificates right now, with 2 more hopefully being launched next fall. So we'll have 13 then. This is such a great option if you want to just kind of get your feet wet without jumping straight into a degree program, or if you just want to try out some of our courses. One of these graduate certificate options might be a good option for you. I'm going to cover a few quick facts about the iMSA program. This program builds expertise and fundamentals of accounting, like financial reporting, audit and control, and U.S. federal taxation. The tuition ranges from $20,000 to $28,000. This is a range because it will depend on some of your course choices. Students can complete the iMSA in 18 to 36 months, depending on your course load. We have 3 start dates of January, May, or August. So for those of you on here today, you might be looking to apply for a May start, or possibly August for our fall 24 cohort. The iMSA includes a total of 32 credit hours, or 8 courses, and 24 credits of the iMSA will fully stack into the iMBA degree if you decide to pursue the iMBA later. So whether you're a mid-level professional looking to move into that C-suite position, or new to a field, you'll be well positioned to advance your career and increase your earnings potential with the iMSA. The average age of our students is 37. Majority of the students will be seasoned professionals with 10 years of experience or so. 43 states and territories are represented, as well as 35 countries. 82 Fortune 100 companies represented in the iMSA program. We have career changers, people looking to pivot into a new career, folks that might be new to accounting, and others that have been in finance and accounting for years. So you'll be connecting with other people from lots of various sectors and backgrounds. What is the value of our program? Here's some recent statistics for you. 94% satisfactory rate with overall quality, program quality. 76% of our students received a promotion or job offered during the iMSA program, and 28% received a pay increase during the program. So with these numbers, you can see that the return of investment is pretty relevant here, and you can see that the iMSA can have an immediate impact on your career. Todd, is there anything that you have experienced while you've been in the program in terms of return of investment, or how it's had an impact on your career, even just while you've been in the program?
Definitely. Me personally, as soon as you get into a course, that information makes you better. It's I'll hear things out in business discussions that I've just heard in class. I'll see research from the university. I'll be reading an article from the Financial Times, and they'll be referencing University of Illinois. Other classmates have said, how they've taken something from a lesson we did last week and immediately applied it to a team environment or a project, and how that was successful. So I think it's immediately applicable to what you're doing or what you're planning to do.
Great, thank you. All right, and now we're going to talk a little bit about the iMSA curriculum and content. The curriculum consists of 32 credit hours that students are required to complete. 20 of those will be core courses, which means that those are courses that every iMSA student is required to complete in the program. Then you'll have 12 credit hours of electives. These electives will allow you to kind of customize your degree and gear it towards your own professional goals. Todd, can you touch a little bit maybe on courses and you know, just kind of how you've balanced those a little bit with your, you know, commitments of career and family?
Oh, like in a time management sense?
Sure.
Yeah. You have to you plan it out, and you have to expect probably 12 to 15 on average of hours per week, maybe a little more, a little less, depending. And then your other students are really good resources in terms of things that they've done. I've changed halfway through a class. I've heard another technique of how to manage your time, and it's really improved my time. But you do have to kind of plan it out, but it is doable. There are people in the program with children. There are single moms with children, people who are traveling all the time, and the flexibility of the program really allows you to do the work you need to do. And then you have plenty of time to get help to turn in your deliverables on the deadline. So, but you do have to kind of plan it out, and you have to kind of prepare for that adjustment to your life. But it's not as horrible as you might think going into it. And there's lots of help.
Good. That's good to hear about the support of the other students as well. Okay, and then a little note about the I. We get this question all the time. What is the I all about? This refers to a method of delivery only. It is to signify that all of the master's degrees offered here at Gies Online. There will be no mention of the I on your transcripts or diploma. And so now we're going to talk about the different components of each of the courses. We'll first touch on the component of the Coursera MOOC. MOOC stands for Massive Online Open Course. These are non-credit bearing courses that you complete asynchronously on your own time that cover foundational material. It serves as basically like a digital textbook for each course. These offer specific career aligned training. You will earn a digital certificate that you can share on social platforms after you complete this component. You enroll through the Coursera platform. The content is made up of videos, self-assessed quizzes, assignments, and peer evaluations. It is definitely more self-paced and self-driven. But then the second component is the high engagement component of each course. It basically builds upon the MOOC foundational material. It will give you the real world scenarios and projects to pull through the concepts that you've learned in the MOOC. You will have a 90-minute live class on Zoom each week where your instructor will give their lecture. You will also have small group breakout sessions in these live classes. They're offered at several different times a day to accommodate all of our global time zones. Your faculty is available for office hours where you can discuss current assignments and have discussions with your professor and TA as well if needed. So together, the Coursera and high engagement components make up your 4-credit Gies Online course. Todd, can you talk a little bit about these two components and how you've balanced them and how they are different, but how they work together?
Right. Yes. The way you consider the Coursera component is you look at it as your textbook. And an alum before when I was going through the admission process had advised me that, like, if you have an opportunity to do it a little bit early. So I always kind of take a peek at the Coursera, maybe kind of get a week or so in, but really it's your textbook. And if you do it, especially if you do that week's material before the live session, then the live session becomes that much better for you because it builds on what you just read. And you can actually go back to the Coursera. You'll have the Coursera for life even after the program, but it builds upon that live session. It makes it better. And so if you've done that by the time you do a live session, then you're halfway to having great success for that week, and you just do that each week. And it makes projects and all the other work better if you've already done the Coursera, but they do go hand in hand. And they're both very important, and I depend on both of them.
Okay, yeah, I definitely heard from lots of students working ahead on Coursera pays off. So you just confirmed that. All right, moving to our next slide. So this is going to touch a little bit on our faculty. You might be wondering, how are we delivering all of this highly innovative content to our learners? Well, a lot of it has to do with our amazing faculty. We have 74 plus faculty members with many years of experience, 200 plus TAs, and 55 Gies staff members that are in our teaching and learning department. So all of these groups basically come together, work together, they create content that we deliver. I'm going to pause now, and I'm going to share a brief video that will give you a sense of what a live session is like. This is Professor Knoll. He's one of our favorites, one of the students' favorites, and you can be ready to be entertained. So bear with me 1 second as I share this video with you. 1 second here.
Hello and welcome from wherever in the world you are. One thing you'll know by now, you'd realize you are not going to be able to just sit back. Got excited.
Absolutely.
I do not believe in exams. It will be a collaborative event, something you do over time with others. And that's what we do in this class. I want you to put up your hands and tell me 2 associations from the case.
Tradition comes to mind.
Associated with a working man.
Also inexpensive and very accessible.
End my classes by saying, all of you, go out in the world and be successful.
You can build $1 million business, and you don't need my money or anyone else.
Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so Todd, can you tell us a little bit? Are you familiar with Professor Knoll and what your experience has been like in live sessions?
I haven't experienced him, but I have looked forward to it because I have seen his videos and I have seen him interviewed. And so I am looking forward to that. But I will say that the classes are very engaging. It's kind of like this presentation here. You can chat with some of the other professors while the main professor is giving you information. You can ask questions during class. You have breakouts. It's very engaging. It's one of my absolute favorite parts, that and office hours, which I didn't mention before. But those 2 things, if you take advantage of, will really help catapult you quicker than you thought you could move. They're very helpful and it's very engaging. And but I am looking forward to Professor Nolan in the future.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's definitely a big personality, and everyone seems to enjoy his courses. All right, moving along here, networking. So this is a very common question that we hear from lots of people interested in our programs is, how do students network within an online program? In the previous academic year, we held 25 in-person student meetings spanning 9 countries with 450 students and alumni registering for these events. We hold several different types of events for our students to network. We have many of them listed here. I'm going to briefly just touch on them, and then we'll turn some time over to Todd to talk about any networking opportunities he's had. But the iConnect, these are meetups for current students and prospects where we typically have a speaker for some professional development. Immersion trips, we just wrapped up our Mexico City immersion trip yesterday. These trips are hosted 4 times per year. All degree learners are eligible. They are an extra cost, and usually there's a group of about 30 to 40 students that are able to attend. The immersions are project-based, working with companies to solve a real-world problem, and there will be several fun cultural activities included. iConverge is our annual in-person event held on campus, where we invite all students and alumni to attend a fun networking 3-day event on campus. Workplace is kind of, the best way I describe it is kind of like where Facebook meets LinkedIn. There's a lot of engagement among the students on this platform. They form groups, ask questions, network, support one another as well on this program or on this platform. You'll have plenty of group work within your courses with your peers. And then we have an ambassador group that like the one that Todd is a part of, that will basically connect prospective learners with current students to answer their questions. And finally, the iGBA, the iDegree Graduate Business Association. It's a University of Illinois registered student organization of iDegree learners. It's exclusively for currently enrolled iMBA, iMSA, and iMSM students. The iGBA acts as the official liaison basically between currently enrolled Gies Online students in the college and university administration. And the iGBA encourages professional development, a sense of community by administering all sorts of activities and programs as well. Todd, can you tell us a little bit maybe about any networking experiences you've had or any in-person meetups that you've attended?
I will talk about, let me talk about student-led first. I have done almost all of these. There was one in Atlanta I almost made. I think there was an iConnect in Atlanta too that I wasn't able to make, that I had planned to make, because Atlanta is only 2 hours from here. But I do plan on going to iConverge in the fall. Immersions, I think I'm planning hopefully to do that in 2025. Everything else, though, you should be involved in. Everything has value. Workplace, there's groups, and then there's subgroups. And then I just saw today somebody was commenting about, I didn't realize there were so many people in the iMBA Atlanta group, or where you're from, if you're from China or from the Bay Area, or New York and DC, and there's just all these different groups. And those come out of official groups. Like I'm now an ambassador. And the reason I'm an ambassador is because the ambassadors I met were so helpful, and they constantly were helping people. And I'm like, well, so I got to know them a little bit, and that's really what led me here. And the GBA, I'm actually doing a Scrum workshop starting this Saturday. If it goes for 6 weeks, there's just so much value in staying connected. And then the only one that's not on here is LinkedIn. I probably have a ton of connections on LinkedIn where other programs, like if somebody comes in new, people welcome me, I welcome them, and we're still connecting and offering, even alum and professors. So yeah, that's my experience so far, and it's all very good. It's all worth doing.
Yeah, sounds like you've definitely taken advantage of a lot of those opportunities. So that's good to hear. All right, I'm going to go through just a few brief slides of different opportunities for networking and in-person events. These are some photos of the Seattle immersion. I think we have this about 1.5 years or 2 years ago, but they all went to Seahawks Stadium. They did a boat excursion. They had lots of fun networking and cultural events there in Seattle. And then this is just our past iConverge in September. In 2023, we had 505 students and alumni attendees. There were 38 states represented and 32 countries represented. That last group photo that was taken outside the State Farm Center, it was basically everyone that was attending that day, we were at the State Farm Center, which is where the University of Illinois basketball team plays. And we had a portion of the meetings held in that facility that day. And we took a large group photo. So iConverge is definitely a really fun event. It's really neat on my end to just kind of watch a lot of the students come together and meet for the first time in person. They meet instructors for the first time. So it's a really exciting time. And then workplace, these are just a few examples of some workplace posts where we have a large Singapore group that got together and basically celebrated those that graduated. And it was just a really fun event for all of those in that area to come together. You can see the post where someone was attending a live session and studying while on vacation. And then another student that announced his startup company and how excited he was and the impact that the MBA had on that. Some of the student meetup locations here are just a few examples. You can see that they happen not only in the United States, but also internationally. We've heard of students that are traveling through different metropolitan areas, different countries, and they'll definitely make a point to meet up with any students in those areas. Moving on to the support that you'll receive as an admitted student, we have an entire student and academic success team that will be available to you. They can go over the degree requirements with you. They can help you set up a degree plan. They have express advising hours as well, multiple times a week where you can hop on and off and get any questions answered. You can register for one-on-one Zoom meetings as well. Todd, have you connected with any academic advising services? And if so, what did that support look like for you?
I did. I got a degree plan. And so it was a 30-minute session and it was fantastic. It really kind of set me at ease. And it planned out the next couple of years, including the MSA component. And but then he's like, you can, every semester you can reevaluate it. Maybe some courses get moved around. You can adjust it. You can change your focus. But it's really nice to kind of have that. So like I know what I'm going to do. And then if something changes, but it was very helpful. And office hours in any component is very helpful. It just gives you a chance to ask questions. And yeah, the degree planning was so good. I said, can I ask for you specifically next time I want to set an appointment? It's real easy. I mean, you have tons of opportunities, and it was a very good experience.
That's safe. Good to hear that. And then, all right, so now we're going back to another poll here. What part of the application looks time-consuming or most difficult to you? What are you most kind of concerned about when it comes to the application? Is it your resume, your personal statement, the recommendations that every program requires, including the iMSA, 2 letters of recommendation, unofficial transcripts listing your work experience, or the English proficiency test if you're international, and or the prerequisites or coursework form for the iMSA program. What part of the application is maybe the most difficult for you or holding you back a bit? Let's see here. All right, yeah, so the personal statement, these are pretty brief statements, and we give you prompts, and as long as you address the prompts and basically kind of meet the word count, that definitely will help you with that. Recommendation forms. So how that works, we will send your recommender a recommendation form that they can complete in as little as like 10 to 15 minutes. The letter is encouraged, but it is optional. So keep that in mind. Resume just needs to be updated. So, but yes, those are all valid concerns for sure. All right, application requirements for our degree programs are listed on this page. So you'll need, we just went over these, but you'll need the resume, the academic history, all transcripts or mark sheets, academic statement, short answer personal statements, 2 recommendation forms, TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo score, or a waiver essay for international applicants only. The waiver essay would be if you're someone that has had a lot of experience with speaking English and you maybe want to request a waiver, you can write an essay and we can assess the English in an interview and decide whether or not we can grant that waiver. No GRE or GMAT required. There is a scholarship essay. We'll touch a little bit on that in just a minute. The next intake for scholarship essays will not be until our fall 24 cohort. So there's no scholarship intake for May. And then finally, if you're concerned that your profile might not be strong enough to gain admission to one of our, or to the iMSA program, the PAT program, which stands for Performance-Based Admission Track, might be a good option for you. It gives learners the opportunity to apply to PAT as a non-degree student, to take graduate level courses and earn credit before officially entering the degree program. And the application review. After you submit your application, we will contact you if anything's missing. We accept applications on a rolling basis, so the sooner you apply, the better. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks, give or take, before you will hear from us with either a decision or invitation to interview. Interviews are just an opportunity for us to get to know you better. Todd, was your interview scary, or can you tell us a little bit about how your interview was?
No, you're not really sure what to expect. And then after you've had I don't even know how long it was, a nice long conversation, it was very nice. It was very nice. I actually learned a lot in that interview and got to ask a lot of questions, and it was very comfortable. It was very comfortable.
Good. Yeah, it's definitely, super casual, just like I said, an opportunity for us to get to know you a little bit better, and an opportunity for you to ask those questions. Okay, so summer 2024 application deadlines, but final application deadline for summer 2024 will be April 4th. The deadline for spring 24 iMSA applications has passed. So you'll be wanting to either apply for May, or if you want to wait, you can apply for fall, and those applications will be available on our website mid-February. If you do choose to apply for May, you will be taking a non-accounting elective for your first term, since it's only an 8-week term, and then you would take your first accounting course in August. So just keep that in mind. But applying for either is doable. So why Gies? Hopefully you've learned a little bit about the University of Illinois and the iMSA program. I feel like the 3 things that I hear our students talk about the most in terms of why they chose Gies Online is flexibility, affordability, and networking opportunities. You're able to complete your master's degree without leaving your job or any other responsibilities. Our price point is really unmatched, especially for the high quality education that you will be receiving. And despite our program being online, you'll have numerous opportunities, as Todd talked about, to meet and connect with your peers in person. So we would love to have all of you join us here at Gies. And we're not done yet. I'm gonna definitely make sure if we have any questions in the Q&A or anything that needs to be addressed before we close out. But Todd, is there any final words or any bit of advice you'd like to give before we do close out for the day?
2 things I was thinking about. If you are thinking about applying for May, I wouldn't wait to the deadline. I kind of did when I applied, and it was for some other odd reason, and it's easier if you go ahead and get it in because you can. Everything doesn't have to be in at once, so you can do pieces. So I'd go ahead and do it early. And you don't have to make your decision that early, but go ahead and get all your stuff in. And I felt a little anxious about that. And then the other thing about why Gies is the energy is phenomenal. From the professionals you work with, the professors, the support, it's just infectious. And the one alum I talked to, it had been 20 years since I think he'd been here, almost 20 years, and he still had that energy. I could feel it when we chatted on LinkedIn. So it's
Wow.
definitely
Yeah,
strong.
that's very good to hear. I love hearing that. And I know for myself, you know, I really felt that energy at iConverge this last year when I was able to attend, and of everyone coming together. So that energy is definitely there. And alumni come back for that event as well, and are still invested in us even after they graduate. So, all right, we have this QR code here again. Feel free to scan that. That is an opportunity for you to connect with myself or Kate or someone from our admissions and recruitment team. It will connect you to our website. And then Kate, was there anything else that needed to be addressed? Any questions in the Q&A?
Sure. Can you talk a little bit about the Coursera scholarship and what we look for and how we go through those applications?
Sure, yeah. So for the scholarship, there will be a prompt. Basically, we are just going, and the next intake for those will be for fall. And we're just looking for someone that is a strong candidate in the program in general. And also, you know, anyone that has like community involvement, that has an impact in any way in their community, outside of their career. You know, you would be able to write about that. And you also would be able to state any financial needs. You're not going to have to be specific, but just giving us an idea of what the need is maybe. And you would include all of that information in your essay. And they are highly competitive. You are definitely, you know, everyone is welcome to apply. International as well, and but they are highly competitive for sure.
Question for Todd. Todd, if you're working, are there specific times you have to be in the online classes, or is everything recorded? That's a question from Darren.
Yes, they're recorded, so you don't have to be there live. I always strive to be there live. I've only missed one live session, I think, and that was unavoidable. But they are recorded, and usually it's after the last one. So like the class I've got this spring, it's got 3 times. So after that last one, all the slides and all the recorded sessions, and actually all recorded sessions. So like if I go to a live session, I usually still watch a recorded session of the one I didn't go to, because you get different questions, different people are in there. But no, if you have to work, you can watch them recorded, and people watch them on the plane, at their son's soccer game. I've seen people watching them walking on campus, because you'll see them pop up, and they'll talk about that. But yeah, so no, you wouldn't have to miss something because you had to be at a live session.
I think the last question, can you explain more about the Coursera MOOCs and how that works? I know we touched a little bit on that, but maybe give a little bit of a breakdown, Todd, of like what a Coursera MOOC, talk about, you know, the modules and how that works with the live sessions.
Sure. You have, so most courses now, accounting, most courses are, there are 8 weeks. So you have one Coursera module per week. And so they usually break it up. So you have, like in an economy course, you might have markets on one, and then you might have game theory as your second one. And so those first 4 will be material for that week. And it'll consist of videos. So there's probably anywhere from 6 to 10 videos, but the longest video is probably 17 minutes. A lot of them are 6 minutes. And then there's reading and there's transcripts to go with that. So you could, some people watch the videos on fast speed and then they read through the transcripts. I've done a combination of both. You can go back and refer to them. And then along the way, they'll do like practice quizzes, kind of test your knowledge. And those are untimed, and you can take those quizzes as much as you need to make sure you understand the material. And then there's usually a graded quiz at the end of each week. And that's just to kind of test your knowledge, and you have to just pass it, which is I think 80%. And you can take that multiple times. That's just so you understand that week's material. And then when you go into the live session, they will refer to it. Sometimes they'll explain more complicated topics, but then they build on it. So they expect you to kind of know what's in the, some people like to do it reverse. I definitely prefer to do it before, but it builds upon what you just learned that week. And so you're very comfortable with the material, and then they introduce some new stuff, which is what it's designed to do. And then that gives you the whole concept and the whole way of understanding it. And then the assignments in the live sessions are a little bit, those are the ones you want to be real careful with, because that's what actually goes towards your grade. Is that helpful enough?
Yes, that was great. One more question, Lori, can you talk about the pay-as-you-go tuition model? And the question is, are there any scholarships for iMSA? I know we briefly touched on that, but maybe do a little bit of a repeat on the Coursera scholarship.
Sure. Coursera scholarships will be available for fall 24. So again, those applications will be live mid-February. You're definitely welcome to apply as an iMSA applicant. And that scholarship does cover 70% of the tuition. And we are a pay-as-you-go model. So you only pay for courses as you're enrolled in them. Whether you're a scholarship recipient or you're paying full tuition, your bill will be due about 30 days into each course. And so you're only paying for those as you're taking them. If you would like to set up some sort of payment plan or something like that, you can reach out to the bursar's office. You can set up a payment plan through them. We also have financial aid available for domestic students, and you'll want to reach out to the Office of Student Financial Aid for that. And so before we close out today, how are you all feeling about your understanding of the iMSA program and Gies Online? Feel free to, give us your feedback of how you're feeling. And if you still have questions that we didn't get to, you can reach out to us at giesonline@illinois.edu. We are really excited that you all joined us tonight, and we are definitely here to help answer any questions that you have anytime. And thank you, Kate, for helping in the chat. Thank you, Todd, for your time today and for sharing your experience with us. And again, thank you all who attended. Feel free to reach out to us, and we hope you have a good rest of your night.